The only bad thing about this weather where it's getting misty and bad, sinuses start getting acting up. Y'all can tell when my sinuses are acting up, I'll shift when I'm singing from high to low and then back and forth. It helps keep my voice if I do that. We're going to be in Psalm 128 today. It's a short one. This is one that is labeled a song of ascent or a song of degrees. I looked into this, and there's 4 or 5 different understandings of what a song of ascent meant. And basically the easiest way to say is they don't know. Because the different schools of thought take different positions, and they defend them, and they have proofs, and they have evidence. But none of it is 100%, this is what it means, according to what the ancient, we don't have any writings from that time that say a song of ascent is this. The one I do like, and I don't know if it's accurate or not, but it's what they sang as they went up into the temple. As they sang, they would sing one of these or some of them as they entered into the temple for their yearly worship or for their weekly or whatever. I like that idea of everybody singing as they come into the house of the Lord. It sounds a little crazy, but can you imagine if you got to sing your favorite song as you entered into God's house? We did that at church camp a couple times back when they had open air tabernacles at church camps. Is when a certain song started playing across the campus, everybody would start singing and head into the tabernacle. And so as we're coming in, it's usually the 3rd or 4th verse, and everybody's getting with it. And you've got some people who are like, I'm going to be an opera singer. You got some people who can't carry a tune that are singing quietly to themselves with a smile on their face. So I like that interpretation. Whether it's accurate or not, I don't know. But this is a song of ascent. It is often attributed to either David or Solomon. We do not know exactly. There are no specific authorship tags that we can attribute to it. But it is one that is interesting, especially when you take into consideration. We've been studying Proverbs. One of the things people remember the most of Proverbs is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Right. I was seeing it was going to be both today. Are we surprised? It's okay. Everybody's different. I can guarantee Nicole will never pipe up when I do something like that. That's how she's wired. I can almost guarantee Joyce will. So it's kind of fun. Opposites here. Got to agree. And that's what this song talks about. It's wisdom. It talks about this idea. I'm going to read through it real quick. I'm going to read out of the King James. It reads really well in the New Living also and in the New American, but I'm going to read out of the King James. Psalm 128, start verse 1. Blessed is everyone that feareth the Lord, that walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands, happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine, by the sides of thine house, thy children like olive plants, round about thy table. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth the Lord. The Lord shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem all the days of thy life. Yea, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. Different translations say it a little differently, different meaning, different ideas, but it's all basically the same. It starts out with, blessed is every man that feareth the Lord. The phrase, fear the Lord, was an understanding of talking about the wise. The person who has understood their position before God and fears Him. I'm never stood before a lion without bars being in the way. Tiger, bear, rhino, hippo. You know, hippos kill more people than all the big cats do every year. They're much more dangerous. And yet they don't eat meat. Go figure, they're vegetarians. And I've stood before these massive creatures, and there's been a wall or a big, you know, that glass they put between the animals. It doesn't look that thick. It's actually 6 inches or deeper. And I've stood there. I've pet a killer whale's tongue. These massive predators, these big creatures. And I've been in awe of them because they're big. You know, a killer whale can swallow you whole. You're gone. And I look at these animals and I'm in awe. And when you're standing in front of a big cat and it's looking at you through these bars, and you know the only thing it's thinking is, I need some barbecue sauce with that. You know, something. That's all that's on its mind. It's looking at you, and you have that awe of, I couldn't run fast enough. I couldn't hide. Nothing. You get that perspective of what it's like to stand before God and understand that He is righteous, He is pure. And when we fear God, not in fear like we do with the animal of being destroyed, but of being a sinful person before a righteous God, when we have that fear, then we have started to gain wisdom. That's really where it comes from. And so the psalm starts off with, blessed is one who is basically who's wise. Blessed are the wise. It implies a question, and we'll get to that in a minute. But blessed are the wise that walk in His ways. Now, the His ways, some people say, okay, well, let's talk about who walks in the man way, walks in His way because he's wise. He walks in that. The pronoun His does not exist in the Hebrew. If you look it up, it says, blessed are the wise who walk in the way. The way of who? Of God. Who walks in God's way. Because God's path is much different than man's path. Man's path is what? Basically the American dream. Stop, think about it. To succeed. To be rich. To have a big family or a small family. And 2.5 kids, that's kind of medium. Actually, I believe the average is 2.1 now. To be successful. To be influential. To have your name known. You know, that's kind of the man path, the idea there. But the God path is to be righteous, to live in wisdom. He continues in right, for thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. What does that mean? You will eat by the labor of your hands. The New Testament says it also. If you want to eat, work. If you work, you will eat. It's a logic thing. Blessed are those who will labor and who will eat. Y'all ever worked really hard, got home, fixed the meal, sat down? Maybe it was simple. I don't eat sandwiches. I just eat the sandwich meat because of the wheat and everything. There have been times I have worked hard in the yard and I've done stuff, and maybe it was one of those days where at the end of the day I just went, I don't want to cook. And their coach goes, I don't want to either. We just have something simple. And isn't it sometimes the best meal? It's just, oh, it's so good. Didn't you feel blessed? Sometimes just that cook. I get the sandwich meat cut slab. So it's like a steak almost, you know. And I'll just sit there and with my fingers sometimes rip it and eat it. I look like a heathen. I don't care. And it's a good meal. Why? Because I worked hard that day. That simple food was, a blessing to me. I like this, happy shall you be. Another translation say, blessings and prosperity will be yours. This idea of being happy is more than just, I'm in a good mood. Y'all made me laugh, or something good happened. It's a content in your life. It's a contentedness in your life. Now, we're not often content because of the rat race, as it's been put over the years. But when things are going, and you're accepting that that's the way life goes, and you're working hard, and you're doing what you can, and you're not judging yourself on other people, and you're just doing your thing, and you're following after God, guess what? We will be more more content. We will be happy. In verse 3 it says, thy wife, in English today, sorry, thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house, thy children like olive plants round about that table. That's a visual image, but it has some application that makes sense. Okay, fruitful vine. First thing, your wife is going to be fertile. This was important back then. Your legacy was your children. They didn't have monuments that were put up except for kings. There weren't, the Boys and Girls Club, Mitchell Building or anything like that. It wasn't like that. It was your legacy was your children. So your wife will be fruitful. That's a blessing. We've been blessed with our kids most of the time. You're not my kid. Why are you giving me a dirty look? She can be a dirty look.
It's like a guilty conscience.
Yeah, but you know what? She's listening. That's the thing, is she's listening, so I'm fine. But it says, on the side of thine house. Okay, what's that mean? Y'all know why they grew vines on the side of the house? It's not decoration.
The car wall? Literally? No.
It cooled the house off. They would grow the vine 2 foot out. And they would grow it on a big trellis that would go up the house, all the way up to a pagoda, would be the term we think of now, but a pavilion on top of the house. It would grow all the way up and cover that completely on the south side. And it would completely shade that entire structure. What does that do for the inside? It makes it feel great, doesn't it? It makes the home habitable. Makes it pleasant. A good wife does the same thing. Not necessarily cool, but makes it pleasant. Makes it comfortable. So that's the implication here. The second part of the verse is the children. The children are like olive plants round about thy table. Y'all ever smelled an olive tree? I've gotten to smell olive wood, not a live tree. I have not been around a live one. I've been told it is an intoxicating, beautiful smell. And what they would do is they would plant small ones around buildings. It would be like air freshener. It would make it smell good. So the children will be as if bringing pleasure to the home, making it smell good, making it more of a home. Verse 4 says, behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth the Lord. So these things, that's how he's going to be blessed. If he is wise, he will have food to eat because he has labored. He will be content. He will be happy. It will be well with him. He will have a wife that is fruitful and makes a good house. He will have children that makes the house well also. Around the table. Now the table is an interesting thing because that's where everybody met. Everybody else did, you're doing all sorts of stuff throughout the day, and then near the middle of the day you would come into the house, sit at the table and eat. And then at night you would come in and, afternoon meal's not a new thing. They've been doing that for a long time. And so this is the blessings for the wise. And then he continues in verse 5 and says, the Lord shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem all the days of thy life. Or see the prosperity of Jerusalem. The idea of Zion could be two different ideas. It could be from Jerusalem, but since Jerusalem's mentioned, it's more likely from heaven. Marching to Zion this song is talking about that. First talks about going to Jerusalem, and then talks about going to heaven. Zion is often called, heaven is often called Zion. This idea that God will bless you out of heaven, God will allow you to see that Jerusalem, remember this is written to the Hebrews, their national pride was strong and Jerusalem was their symbol. And you will get to live to see the blessings of your people everywhere. Jerusalem will be lifted up. This would be as if we said the United States will be blessed and raised up and seen as a godly nation. Right now we're not. Some places still see us as a Christian nation, but the ones who have watched the nation, the ones who keep up with what laws are being passed, what activities are going on, they don't see us as a Christian nation. And to be fair, we're not. There are more Christians in China, which is anti-Christian, than there are in America. Now, you might say, well, that China's a lot bigger. Okay. Other nations that are seen as atheistic nations, agnostic, or even just they don't take a stance, have a higher Christian population than us. Australia does. It's a Christian nation. It identifies, I think the last number I saw was 75% identified as Christian of some sort. That's a big percentage. I think in America it's 32. Maybe. If you look at the charts, it's steadily going down who identifies as a Christian. But it would be as if we could see that it says, you'll get to see the United States blessed all the days of your lives. Wouldn't that be great? Peace. What if we didn't have to turn on the news and worry about, okay, what happened now? What if we could turn on the news and they're like, all the cops are safe, the jails are getting empty because people aren't being arrested anymore, the politicians aren't crooked? All these news sites, they'd be like, all right, we're bored. Right? I'm just picking on some of the big ones. But I mean, imagine if that did happen. What if we could say the United States was blessed? Just try to put verse 5 into perspective for us. And then verse 6, it says, yea, or yes, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. You will live a long life. Why? Because you will see your children's children. We have this understanding of people going, oh, lifespan has increased. No, the average lifespan has increased. It was common for people to live to 100 in Jesus' time. It was just not as common. People did it. And at this time, when David and Solomon, that period of time of the kings, they were living occasionally to that age. But many people, they would live, they would raise their kids, and maybe their kids would get to 20 or 25, and then the parents would die, maybe. Or might get older. But you have to remember, infant mortality was pretty high. So getting to see your grandkids grow up might not happen quickly. And so the implication to verse 6 is that if you are wise, you will get to see your grandkids grow up. And you will also see peace be on Israel. I like how New Living Translation says, may Israel have quietness and peace. Because we often think of peace and quiet. I know around our house right now there's not peace and quiet. We got a little toddler running around, we got extra people, it's just the way it goes. It's not peace and quiet. You know when the most peace and quiet I get right now, it's kind of funny, is at work after everyone else has left and I'm sitting there waiting on the last few people to finish washing dishes. And I get to sit down, there's music playing, because I don't mess with it. I'm just sitting there in the dark waiting. It's just peaceful, it's quiet, it's calm. Imagine having that for our nation. If it was peaceful, if it was quiet, if it was calm. So what are we supposed to take from this? It's a great song. It's good information, but what are we supposed to take from it? Well, we're supposed to understand that if we are wise, not if we have just gained a little wisdom, but if we are wise in God, if we understand, if we are after that path, these are the blessings that should be showing up in our lives. We should have a fruitful life, should be happy, should be well, should be pleasant. Live a long life. That's the implications for us individually, but it also applies, as it applies here, to the nation, to the church, to the community. If I'm wise, I have blessings. If we're wise, the church gets blessings. If this community is wise, it gets blessings. And if the nation is wise, it gets blessings. The implication is not if there's one wise person, the nation gets blessings. It's as more people become wise. So what's the question? Are we able to look at these and honestly say, I have all these blessings, therefore I'm wise? You could. More interesting would be is if someone that doesn't know you can look at your life and say, you have a house, a family that loves you, respects you, and cares about you. Your family wants to have something to do with you. People look to you for wisdom. You are blessed. You work hard and you're able to bring in good food, not just for you, but for others. You're helpful. You're happy. You're content. You're well. You're fruitful. You are blessed. Now, many times we say, yeah, we're blessed. Many times we are very energetic about it, and we say it about one specific instance. I almost died, I am blessed. One of my friends, his son, actually made the news because he came around a corner, going the speed limit, driving safe, came around a dead man's curve up in northeast Arkansas, and there had been a 2-year-old toddler wandering around by herself on the road. Someone had stopped to get the toddler out of the road. He came around the turn, and that's what was outside the turn. What was his choice? Dodge or hit somebody, right? This 16-year-old boy totaled a $40,000 car to save lives. He was blessed because he walked away with no injuries. And if you've seen a picture of I think it was a Camaro, orange one, I forget what, it was a muscle car, it was an orange one, and it was wrapped, the whole hood was just wrapped around a tree. Because that was his option. It was dodge to the side of the road and hit a tree, or hit that child and that person helping the child. And he got no injuries. And so his dad was like, my son was blessed today. And I get that. He is blessed. God reached down and said, okay, save him. Because it totaled the car. It was complete loss. And that is a blessing. But what this is talking about is overall. We're blessed in instances, but overall are we blessed? Because sometimes we'll say, oh, I was blessed today. But can we say we are blessed overall? Because we can have a blessed moment like my friend's son did. We can have a blessed day. I've had a couple of those where it's a great day, everything went right, it was a great day. Or do we have a blessed life? Because if we are truly wise, the writer of this psalm makes it clear of two things. One, we are blessed consistently. And second, it's not hidden blessings. It's not stuff that is just quiet and calm. It's stuff people will notice. It's not you will be rich. It's not you will be famous. It's you will be blessed in such a way that you will have a home life that is calm and blessed. You will eat. You will have these things from God. You will be fruitful. You will be happy. You will be well. This idea of happy and be well sticks in my mind because happy is an emotion, but be well is a state of being. We're often happy for moments, but we're not well. We're stressed. We're anxious. Yes, this is not talking about mental illnesses, and I know some people have them. This is talking about our intentional lives and what happens. We can use this as a check mark to look at our lives and go, are we blessed? Are these things true for us? And other people can look at us and go, are they true for you or not? Some people might look at Nicole and my life and go, y'all are crazy. Y'all are not blessed. Y'all are stressed. Y'all are taxed. Y'all's resources are pulled every which way. And it's crazy at times. Some of y'all know a little bit more than others. There's a reason I'm pulling 30 hours at Hoops, you know. I'm working hard. And if y'all eat there, thank you. Y'all help guarantee a paycheck. But you know what? I wake up every morning and there's something I do, and I don't do it intentionally every morning. I try to, but I do. It helps me start my day. I do this. And Nicole hears me sometimes, and I do it. Not every day, but I try to. And I just thank God that I woke up able to breathe. Because I have 6 days that I can think of that I woke up and I went, That's how I breathe. About 4 days I breathe that way. The 5th and 6th day I was getting a lot better. But I couldn't hardly breathe. I had to be on oxygen. And to me, when I start off a day and I can go, oh, that's the start of a good day. And I have a lovely wife who someone guessed was 29 this week. I like that. I think that's great for her. She's a beautiful woman. But she's my soulmate. She's right along with me. We don't fuss and fight at each other much. It's usually over small, stupid stuff. You left your shoes out again, Matthew. Sorry. We get along great, and it's 20 years. I know that's just a little blip of time for some, but that's the longest thing I've ever had in my life. Other than my salvation, my parents. We have kids that, yes, they're kids. They do stuff they shouldn't, but you know what? We got pretty good kids. Stubborn as all get out. Strong-willed as all get out. But you know what? That means that whenever they get out of the house, I don't have to worry so much. Because they're strong-willed, they're strong, they're able to do stuff. We're blessed. Did I embarrass you? No. Am I saying I'm wise? I'm not. I'm saying I can see these blessings in our lives. And I know I strive towards wisdom. And sometimes I reach it. Sometimes I hit wisdom. And sometimes I run straight into that brick wall of me being arrogant, me being stupid, me being mad, whatever. I'm not perfect. I never will be perfect, but I better keep trying to chase after wisdom. That's why I enjoy studying Proverbs. Y'all can tell, can't you? Whenever we read through it, I'll stop on some of them and just sit on that verse. Why? Because it means something to me personally. And I love when people go, this one here, this one speaks to me. Solomon was made king because his father died. But he was chosen as king because God said, you will be king. And when he was made king, he went to Shiloh. And he had a vision. And God said, what do you want of me? How can I bless you? However he phrased it, I don't remember exactly. But he basically gave Solomon a lamp. Rub it, make a wish. Whatever you wish for, I'll give it to you. What did Solomon ask for? Ask for wisdom. He said, Lord, make me wise enough. Not just for him, but so he could rule his people well. God's people. Not his people, but God's people well. And God did so. And he honored him. He said, because you chose wisdom, because you wish to be wise, not only will I make you the wisest man ever, I will make you rich. I will make you famous. I will make you popular. I will bless you with many children, wives, everything, every blessing I can give you. The most important thing about all of that is the fact that Solomon had the fear of God and was smart enough and wise enough to say, I'm not smart enough and wise enough to be the king God needs me to be. That is the start of wisdom. When we have a clear understanding of who we are, where we stand, and how much farther we have to go, no matter if we've got a few years, no matter if we have a lifetime, how far we still have to go, then we will start gaining more wisdom and we will gain more blessings. So the question is where do you fall in your path of wisdom, of following God? Some are right at the beginning. Some haven't even stepped on that path. Some are much farther along. Some are midway. And I'll tell you a secret. It's not attached to age. Wisdom in earthly things is. Wisdom in God is not. The longer you're a Christian, yes, you gain more wisdom. But I've known people who were in their 50s, 60s, 70s who became a Christian then, and they gained wisdom quick. But I knew people who were in their 20s who'd been saved 10 years who had more wisdom in Christ. So it's not directly attached to age. Yes, it's an influence. I learned from the youth many days. We have to be willing to listen to God's voice, whether it comes from a child, out of the mouth of babes is the phrase, right? Or from an elder. Because God's wisdom is available to all of us. So where are we all on the path? If you haven't even gotten started, talk to somebody. We have plenty of people. I love to talk, in case you didn't know. I got a cheesy grin for one of them. If you don't want to talk to me, that's all right. I realize I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Talk to somebody else. I guarantee you some of these people will talk to you. More importantly, talk to God. He wants to talk to you. If you're already on the path, and you realize, I need more wisdom, I can give you 2 suggestions that will help like that. 1, listen. Listen to others. 2, God's Word. Specifically Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. The wisdom literature. The reason it's called that. What song you got?
Oh, I am like the Lord.
I am not alone. What page is it?
290. That was the first one I got this time.
Okay. How about we sing through one song? I don't change it. You said 290?